This video is from divergence analysis, and this concerns one of our studies on the Bloomberg app portal, and this study is entitled DVAN Buying Selling Pressure. This is one of our basic studies. It's the color coding here is taken from our velocity algorithms. Again, we use velocity. We do not use prices as inputs in our algorithms. And what this shows is pretty simple. Green colored bars show when buying pressure is dominant. Red colored bars show when selling pressure is dominant. It's also outlined by our smart lines. The smart lines are three lines that are not indicators. They are engineered lines in that they watch other indicators, approximately four, and they're always asking the questions, what is the variance between buying and selling pressure, what is the direction, what is the force, and so on and so forth. The blue line is what we call our trend location line. It's not a trend line like you typically hear it. It's the direction of the trend and also the location price-wise of the trend. The gray line, dash gray line in the middle is very important. That's the pivot line. The pivot line is calculated one period in and forward always, and it's the exact price location where the trend will turn down. So you see when prices are closing below the trend here, or below the pivot line, you see the trend turning down. The red line is what we call our stop line. It is the ultimate stop, but it's also the other boundary of our algorithmic process. So what this does, when they converge, such as right here, this is a positive convergence with the trend leading up and the stop going down. This starts a buy cycle, and it shows you the whole entire buy cycle. Now the pressure bars, buying and selling pressure, shows you really strong strength all this time above the trend location. Now it's coming within the trend location. The trend's still up, however, but you see right here the bars turn from green to red. Now what this means is that buying pressure is now turning into dominantly selling pressure, and it comes down to the stop, it rebounds back up, trying the top again, all within the buying cycle, and it remains red. Okay, this is a really good sign of a top right here when you're making new highs on red bars. Okay, then we go down, it breaks the pivot, it breaks the stop, and you go into a sell cycle, and you see where they converge. This is a natural convergence. We really watch this red line to make sure it behaves accordingly. If it aborts this process, then what it's doing is telling you that that's not going to happen, that you're going to continue in the cycle that you were already in previously. So here's a short sell cycle. The cycle comes on down, the stop and the trend and the pivot and all get very close order drill right here, but you see it trying to get stronger, weaker, stronger, and when you change the strength and you're going through the trend, up through the trend, a pivot and the stop, and then you have a little up cycle here. Again, this doesn't last too long. It turns red right here, falls back down full of pivot. You converge and you're in a sell cycle again. And then here's a really good position to be in when you're looking to buy something in a real larger cycle like this. This is Microsoft Weekly. You see a real down hit in prices, and then all of a sudden you see strength coming in at the trend location. Okay, and then you see strength continuing up through the pivot, and then you see the convergence process, and this is the start of a buy cycle. Again, this buy cycle stayed very strong because green bars stayed above the trend location the whole time until it got to right here. And at the trend location, that's where we take a lot of keys, not only from down here but up here on highs, is when you see it go from buying pressure to selling pressure, that means that it's already starting to weaken. That weakness is taken over. And here again, you come down to the pivot, you rebound back up, trying the highs again, and it's still red, another indication of a really good top. and you see, about a 15% drop from here to where it is right now currently. It goes through the pivot and through the stop. This is one of the studies that we have that we also recommend that is overlaid on DVAN short-term trends or DVAN signals, so that you can not only see the signals and the algorithms telling you how close or how far apart they are, but you see exactly where prices are in their buy or sell cycle, and that you can judge, and it's very transparent, is it strong or is it weak.